Whatever the setbacks of the moment, nothing can stop us now. Whatever the difficulties, Africa shall be at peace. However improbable it may sound to the skeptics, Africa will prosper.
More than anything, Unisa must be celebrated as a pioneer of the distance education model, an enduring gift not only to South Africa, the continent, but to the human civilization in the knowledge arena the world over.
Education is the light in a dark room. It's the spark of a dream, a passport to the future, and the seed of generational change. Through education, we reflect on yesterday and define tomorrow. Rooted in South Africa and the African continent, Unisa can truly claim to be the African university in the service of humanity. Unisa stands at the pinnacle of education through open distance e-learning, with a footprint of students in more than 100 countries worldwide. Since the founding of the university in 1873 as an examining body, we have been a trailblazer. Unisa is the first and only institution in South Africa to carry our country's name with pride, and the first public university in the world to exclusively teach by means of distance education, an ever-changing dynamic university with a global reach. Unisa's history spans the entire modern history of South Africa, opening up a world of academic study opportunities for former activists and struggle heroes, thought leaders, business people, legal experts, acclaimed entertainers, and sports stars. The university takes pride in almost 1 million alumni, with 10 alumni chapters internationally, making their mark in diverse fields and capabilities. Some of the noteworthy alumni include President Nelson Mandela, Thabo Mbeki, who is also the Chancellor and custodian of the university's Calabash Awards, current President Cyril Ramaphosa, former South African Reserve Bank Governor Jill Marcus, and current one, Lesetja Kganyago. Internationally, Reserve Bank governors of Eswatini and Namibia, to name but a few. At Unisa, the World Wide Web is our educational playground, but we also have beautiful and impressive campuses. Unisa's Muckleneuk campus is located in the city of Tshwane and is a major landmark of the capital city. The Florida campus in Johannesburg is Unisa's Science Campus, housing state-of-the-art infrastructure and laboratory equipment. Unisa has 6 regional hubs including Ethiopia and multiple centers across the country. We have embraced the fact that we need to adapt quickly to the fast-paced higher education environment of the 21st century, and this is reflected in our management style and leadership practice. In articulating her vision, the new Principal and Vice Chancellor of the University of South Africa, the first black woman to be appointed at the helm of Unisa, Professor Pulenglin, shared that Unisa is well placed to address society's most demanding challenges by using research to meaningfully transform the lives of those in our communities. To this end, Unisa is working on the following catalytic niche areas. Marine Studies. As a discipline, Marine Studies covers field-specific studies like marine ecology and biology to policy-related studies like marine spatial planning and coastal economies. Many other areas of marine research and studies are covered in this niche area. Aviation and Aeronautical Studies. Aviation and Aeronautical Studies covers specializations in areas as diverse as aeronautical engineering and aerospace safety, and South Africa's 18 airports forms a major role player for passengers and goods transitioning to and from our country. This is a niche that supports a major component of the country's economy. Automotive Studies. The South African automotive industry is projected to grow from 600,000 to 1.4 million vehicles a year in production. There is major potential to be explored in Unisa's commitment to automotive studies. In 2022, students from the Department of Mechanical Engineering participated in the Sasol Solar Challenge with their solar-powered car that travels from Johannesburg to Cape Town without using a single drop of fuel. Energy Studies. Unisa's Institute for Development of Energy for African Sustainability specializes in designing chemical processes, reducing material and energy consumption, as well as carbon dioxide emissions. Space Studies and Square Kilometer Array. Unisa has been extensively involved in the $1 billion Square Kilometer Array project since 2012. The Unisa Observatory, situated on the main campus, is a modern, well-equipped facility housing a 14-inch telescope where the College of Science, Engineering and Technology offers undergraduate courses in astrophysics and astronomy with specialization up to PhD level. Fourth Industrial Revolution and Digitalization. The fourth industrial revolution can be described as the advent of cyber-physical systems, involving entirely new capabilities for people and machines. Examples include genome editing and new forms of machine intelligence. The College of Graduate Studies will support and promote studies into 4IR and digitalization, while the Graduate School of Business Leadership presents a short learning program on big data. Natural Sciences. The simplest definition of biotechnological studies is applied biology. Through the application of biological knowledge and techniques to develop products or services, Unisa's College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences is one of the main partners in the African Biogenome Project, a coordinated Pan-African effort piloting a project with a key objective of sequencing 100,000 endemic species. Health and/or Pharmaceutical Studies. The Department of Health Studies is prepared for the challenge of equipping their students with research skills and expertise in the field of health and pharmaceutical studies. The UNESCO Unisa Africa Chair in Nanoscience and Nanotechnology is leading the international research into the nano-delivery of medicinal drugs, including African herbal medicine. The College of Law offers an elective undergraduate model on medical law. Feminist, Womanist, Busadi Theorizations. In the College of Human Sciences, the Institute for Gender Studies, the College of Education and the Graduate School of Business all contribute to the interdisciplinary research into eliminating gender-based violence, homophobia and transphobia, and discrimination against women in the workplace and the political arena. The Institute also uses education about gender as an effective way to achieve gender equality and the empowerment of women. Student support and co-curricular activities. Unisa is uniquely placed to offer creative and radically innovative ways of enhancing student support. Unisa's College of Graduate Studies has developed a whole range of training programs to assist and encourage students. The Advocacy and Resource Center for Students with Disabilities promotes the principle of access for success, and the Student Development Division provides students with social support and leadership development services. These niche areas find expression in the rich tapestry of our disciplines included in the College of Accounting Sciences, Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, Economic and Management Sciences, Education, Graduate Studies, Human Sciences, Law, Science, Engineering and Technology, the Graduate School of Business Leadership, and the Thabo Mbeki School of Public and International Affairs. As a comprehensive open-distance e-learning institution, Unisa is recognized as a serious player in research globally. From publication and journal output to the number of master's and doctoral graduates, we are moving forwards and upwards. Unisa has made substantial progress in research and innovation, as evidenced by several external and credible scientific ranking systems, with the latest ones, the 2023 Webometrics and Shanghai rankings, placing us in the top 10 universities in the country. As Africa's leading open-distance e-learning university, we can reflect with great pride on the past 150 years of transformational education, and we are confident in our ability to succeed and become a truly high-performance university as we define tomorrow.
The University of South Africa prides itself for being the African university, shaping futures in the service of humanity. We congratulate all our students for having walked this journey with us. And today, we celebrate you for having successfully completed your qualifications. To you we say, halala. To all our graduates and diplomandi in this ceremony, please pay attention to the following instructions. For degree qualifications, a graduations officer will signal degree candidates to rise and approach the stage. You will need to have your seat ticket in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up onto the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand in your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. You will then proceed towards the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor or Acting Vice Chancellor and kneel with your right knee on the stool. At this point, your degree will be conferred. You will then proceed to the next official who will congratulate you by shaking your hand. Continue towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Turn and face the audience and remember to stand on the mat with feet markers in front of the registrar and smile for the camera. A second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table at the far right to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. For postgraduate and undergraduate diploma candidates, you will also be wearing your hoods before entering the hall. You will be signaled by a graduations officer to rise and approach the stage. You need to have your seat ticket in your right hand. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up to the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. Proceed towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Stop in front of the registrar and stand on the mat with feet markers. Turn and face the audience. Your second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table on the far right of the stage to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. We hope that you will enjoy this occasion. The University of South Africa prides itself for being the African university, shaping futures in the service of humanity. We congratulate all our students for having walked this journey with us. And today, we celebrate you for having successfully completed your qualifications. To you we say, halala. To all our graduates and diplomandi in this ceremony, please pay attention to the following instructions. For degree qualifications, a graduations officer will signal degree candidates to rise and approach the stage. You will need to have your seat ticket in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up onto the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand in your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. You will then proceed towards the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor or Acting Vice Chancellor and kneel with your right knee on the stool. At this point, your degree will be conferred. You will then proceed to the next official who will congratulate you by shaking your hand. Continue towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Turn and face the audience and remember to stand on the mat with feet markers in front of the registrar and smile for the camera. A second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table at the far right to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. For postgraduate and undergraduate diploma candidates, you will also be wearing your hoods before entering the hall. You will be signaled by a graduations officer to rise and approach the stage. You need to have your seat ticket in your right hand. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up to the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. Proceed towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Stop in front of the registrar and stand on the mat with feet markers. Turn and face the audience. Your second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table on the far right of the stage to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. We hope that you will enjoy this occasion. The University of South Africa prides itself for being the African university, shaping futures in the service of humanity. We congratulate all our students for having walked this journey with us. And today, we celebrate you for having successfully completed your qualifications. To you we say, Halala. To all our graduates and diplomandi in this ceremony, please pay attention to the following instructions. For degree qualifications, a graduations officer will signal degree candidates to rise and approach the stage. You will need to have your seat ticket in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up onto the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand in your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. You will then proceed towards the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor or Acting Vice Chancellor and kneel with your right knee on the stool. At this point, your degree will be conferred. You will then proceed to the next official who will congratulate you by shaking your hand. Continue towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Turn and face the audience and remember to stand on the mat with feet markers in front of the registrar and smile for the camera. A second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table at the far right to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. For postgraduate and undergraduate diploma candidates, you will also be wearing your hoods before entering the hall. You will be signaled by a graduations officer to rise and approach the stage. You need to have your seat ticket in your right hand. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up to the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage.
By the virtue of the powers vested in me as the acting Vice-Chancellor this afternoon, I constitute this gathering a congregation of the University of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we request you to join us in a silent prayer or form of meditation through which you connect to your deity, whoever the deity is, as we give thanks for the achievements being celebrated on this afternoon's occasion. May we go on a silent prayer, please. Thank you. You may be seated. Before we start our ceremony, to properly celebrate our graduates, let's just get a minute and a half to take out our cell phones right now. I am taking out mine as demonstration of what we're doing in these next 2 minutes or so as we put them on silent. Do both silent as well as the sound. Get rid of the sound. The reason for this is because the cell phones intercepts our recording. As things stand right now, we are on the World Wide Web. We are recording these proceedings. The Chancellor, in his absentia, His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mvuyelwa-Mbeki, members of Council, that's the board of the university, many of whom will be online watching these proceedings right now, the Vice-Chancellor and Principal of Unisa in absentia, Professor Puleng Linkabula, graduates, family members, partners, sisters, brothers, children, grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, loved ones, and beloved in-laws, management of Unisa at various levels, the procession, guardians, supporters, funders, Unisa alumni, and most importantly to you, the graduating class of the 3rd of October, spring graduation season 2024, Sanbonan. Good afternoon. Dumelang. Jambo. All protocol is observed. My name is Professor Tenjiwe Meyiwa. I'm the Vice Principal responsible for research and postgraduate students. And of course, a doctoral red gown about to be the doctor is mine. Thank you for making this ceremony a possibility. We are in our 30th of freedom, and we have to celebrate in all forms as the year draws to the close. I'm honored to be on duty today, bestowing degrees and diplomas, serving so on behalf of the Chancellor, His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mvuyelwa-Mbeki. The Chancellor is the custodian of graduations. He sends his apologies and wishes you well. He says, I must say, you've done well. I'm also honored to be serving as the acting Vice-Chancellor, who is on Unisa business, who could not be here. She also sends her congratulations. Carrying out this responsibility, of course, I'm not on my own, and the reason that we are recording all these names on our recording systems is because this shall be on the World Wide Web. So whatever you're doing this afternoon, please know that it shall be kept on our archives, not only Unisa archives, but the archives of the whole wide world. Whatever goes wrong, may put us in jeopardy. But that as it may be, I know you won't remember all these names, but because this shall be for centuries to come, your great-grandchildren of your grandchildren shall access this recording of the 3rd of October, 2 to 4 o'clock. That's the time we must be out of this hall with your assistance. We have the registrar acting this afternoon. Mrs. Sifolo is at the extreme right end of the stage, who shall be hooding you officially, although you're hooded already right now, but she's at the end there to ensure that you get draped properly in the fashion that the university subscribes to. From the college representatives from the College of Law, I have Professor Farisani and Professor Saurombe. From the College of Economic and Management Sciences, I have Dr. Masichaba, Dr. Rielanda, and Dr. Manchidi. From the College of Education, I have Professor Diane, Professor Ngubane, Professor Dichaba, Professor Tlale, and Professor Munyayi. Professor Munyayi is one of the supervisors that we're celebrating today on the 3rd of October. Thanks, Vanishni, for making this possible. Vashni. Professor Ngubane has been sent by the Chancellor, Dr. Mbeki, to present his address. I will be calling her in a short while. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are very elated this afternoon. Our colleagues to be, because they now have certificates, you don't just get this kind of an accolade without a certificate, have worked very hard at here. They actually have done this in the 151st year. Is there something like that? 151 years of Unisa's existence. We are a mega university that has almost 500,000 students that are enrolled with us. Now, this is all the 26 universities, all the 25 universities of this country and beyond, if we take out Unisa. We graduate more than 50,000 students each year. Other universities have this number with due respect. The entirety of whoever has been in their books for the past 2 years of their existence, including their visitors. That's the number we graduated Unisa. We have several campuses and centers across the country and beyond. The world is our campus. We are the only university that has an international license to operate internationally at all levels. Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women that I'm going to be presenting to you this afternoon have come to this point because they are a true expression of the fact that hard work pays. They are a success, they are an agency, they are a resurrection, they are a transformation of the visions that they had by themselves and their families. Hence, we celebrate them so much. They exemplify what Kwame Nkrumah, one of the most celebrated thought leaders produced by Africa. Those that don't know Kwame Nkrumah, he's from Ghana. Please read about him. You'll be blown away. You probably will not fall asleep because of his work. Don't want to spoil this celebration through Nkrumah's work. But Nkrumah says, action without thought, thought without action is just empty, a close quote. This quote from Nkrumah underscores the significance of working with the purpose and thoughtfulness, promoting hard work, but equally ethical considerations in our actions. Read his work. I am of the belief that what we've instilled in our graduates that we're presenting to you this afternoon is just what Nkrumah subscribes to and lived out his entire life. May his soul rest in peace. Graduates, you are indeed our Chancellor's stars. Today you come to the zenith, to the height, the very high height of your plans for this season. The many seasons to come, the many seasons that have gone past, but today you graduate. Today you make us proud. Without Unisa students, Unisa doesn't exist. We exist because of you. We're therefore very happy that you look, wow, you look gorgeous. You've really spent on yourselves. Thank you for taking yourselves as seriously as we take you. And hence we're celebrating you this afternoon. As a mark of respect for all our graduates and their families, we are requesting everyone in this room, in this hall, to respect the very first graduate in a similar way as the very last one. All our graduates are the same to us. Please stay for the entire 2 hours. I promise you. It shall be 2, but with your assistance. Pinky promise? Let's celebrate to the moon and back. Let's do it in the style that we do in our cultural ways, just as we've just come out of the cultural month. But as soon as each graduate is up here next to the podium, let's just shut up. Sorry to use that word. I couldn't find my Zulu's just come over. I couldn't remember the proper English one. So let's just, our celebration when the new graduate is up here so that we properly record her name, his name, because we want our archives to be in order. Assist us in ensuring that that happens, and also it will assist us with the time, because we have 3 ceremonies each day. This is the second one of the day. Other universities only have 1, with due respect to them. We have 3 each day, and we have our graduations for the spring season, running from September to December throughout the world. So you can imagine that we've got to work with some kind of excellence and control. Thank you for your assistance. A bit of what's going to happen now. This ceremony is 2 hours, so there are about a little bit more than 2 hours, hopefully exact. It has 7 parts. I'm not going to take you through all of them, but just the first 3 is the one that I'm doing right now. After we've done this, we'll have the Chancellor's address by Professor Sindile Ngubane, who is the Chancellor's spokesperson. After that address, we will then have the presentation of the graduates to me for honoring them and conferring formally your certificates, degrees. After that, you will have next to me shall be a colleague, it may be Prof. Ngubane and somebody assisting him, because Unisa students and graduates ultimately are very important. We celebrate you more than what other sister universities do. We shake hands at the end. She may wish to do whatever, hug or take 5, whoever is responsible for celebrating further take their cues. After the celebrating, after you've been given your certificate, you will then go further down to where the registrar is to get your certificate. All of this ensure that you face cameras. We actually have 5 cameras that have cost us a lot of money to record you. So please don't spoil our archives. Ensure that you're looking at all the cameras. We want to capture you from the back, from the front. Remember that for you to be good on a camera, you must show your teeth. Don't just only smile. Now, ensure that there's nothing that's sticking out of your teeth, yeah? So be cleaned up and ensure that you're on point as you look to be on point from the podium here. Where I was standing, there is a kneeler. You see that high chair? I'm sorry, this is going to be a lot of work for you now, Vashni, because if you get it wrong, everybody shall get it wrong. When you get there, if you are receiving your degree, I shall use Metaboard to tap your Metaboard for you to receive your degree. If you're not receiving the degree today, we shall do it next time when you receive the degree. For postgraduates who are receiving their second qualification, we don't tap for diploma graduates. Just remember that, and then you walk past. But there's a kneeler there in front of that high chair. That's what it's called. It's for putting one or both of your knees, and you bow down a bit. It sounds somehow religious, but you know what? You put your Metaboard like that for me to be able to officially tap your Metaboard. We've had graduates sitting there thinking it's a chair for chatting. I hope you don't do that. So as we're moving forward now to the next session, we shall be having Professor Ngubane. But before Professor Ngubane comes, we have come to have a very sad practice of some of our graduates coming in late. I hope this afternoon we don't have that. But please bear with us for those that are latecomers. We will delay just a bit and we'll ask them to come through quickly. Thank you for your patience.
The Chancellor, former President Dr. Mvuyela Mbeki, in his absentia, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Lenkabula, in her absentia, Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Madam Acting Registrar, dear colleagues, family members, various dignitaries if you are here, well-wishers, and most importantly, our graduates. Good day. What is this? Good day. Goeiemiddag. Dumelang. Then I learned something today in Hlekani. I would actually like to use this very precious opportunity to first congratulate you. Are beautiful. You have done very well. So just give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you. Please allow me to use these very few minutes to engage you on a currently exciting yet very dangerous tool. And you know that tool? Artificial intelligence. You see? So, Abeba Birhanse warns that this discourse of mining people for data is reminiscent of the colonizer attitude that declares humans as raw material, free for the taking. This statement is cited from the algorithmic colonization of Africa. Take note. I know that most people are excited about AI. As you are graduating, you'll be going for your interviews, and when you get to work, you know, you just go to AI. But let me warn you, if you have not paid a subscription fee for the AI that you are using, you do not own the information that you are feeding to whatever AI tool. Of course, most of you know ChatGPT. Put in another way, have we actually stopped to ask ourselves that what knowledge do we gain from using AI, and if at all, do we own that AI knowledge, the knowledge that we put into the AI tools? My colleagues here will agree that with me, will agree with me that we are facing a problem of students who speak English but cannot read various texts critically. They cannot engage the text and, critically again. And again, they cannot even summarize it in their own words. And while they are doing that, they cannot even acknowledge the sources. And worse still, when they're doing that, they cannot then summarize and add their original contribution to the discourse. There are instances of masters and PhD students who simply regurgitate brilliant AI-generated work, but when you call them for a face-to-face supervision, they cannot even defend their own writing. So as you go out there to work, go out there and pitch your own ideas. Do not pitch what you took from somewhere else, because when we start asking you questions, we will know. Hoffman and Putarak said, quote unquote, learn from the past so that you can prepare for the future. I then use this quote to draw attention to the need for you to not fall in the trap of thinking that your ideas are not good enough. Steve Bantu Biko, in his I Write What I Like, highlights the importance of taking pride in your authentic voice. Esteemed graduates and families, please leave this session knowing that AI is just a tool. It's not there to replace your thinking. AI is there to augment your creativity, not to replace it. AI can handle repetitive tasks, freeing up more time for creative thinking. Use AI as an inspiration source. Just bring in the new perspectives that you might think, and again, you can choose whether you take or leave. AI can help with brainstorming, but the final creative decision and personal touch should remain yours. Just like we've been asking YouTube and other tools how to perform certain tasks, YouTube, how do you cook jack? YouTube, how do you cook biryani? That's what we do, ne? But as we are doing whatever, we don't choose. Like when you are doing your steamed bread, you can then put carrot if you want. You can put green pepper if you want. That's exactly how you should be using AI. So AI can also assist with skills enhancement. While AI is there to enhance your work, you need to adopt ethical standards, promote fairness, and avoid biases that could limit your creative expression. So we can now agree that by integrating AI thoughtfully, you can leverage its capabilities to enhance your originality rather than hinder and compromise your thinking and your voice. So as a parting shot, because remember the Chancellor's address is not supposed to delay your celebration here. So dear graduates, I request you to know and understand AI tools and all other technological affordances take time to learn. Use AI to, and do not let it, use you for simply mining your thinking patterns and ideas to enrich its repositories. Instead of letting it take over your thinking and infiltrate your kind of thinking, I'm urging you to actually inject it with our African values. I'm urging you to use AI for your empowerment. Use it as an opportunity rather than a threat. Don't let us tell you that you've plagiarized because of AI. In conclusion, I invite you to engage in this opportune endeavor. As Albert Stein has said, quote unquote, we cannot solve problems by using the same kind of thinking that we used when we created them. We cannot keep on being followers and mere users and consumers of technology. Instead, let's be creators of our content-relevant knowledges. Look at how we've actually used TikTok to promote our cultural relevance. Let's then, from now on, use the same mindset and enthusiasm to contribute to local and global knowledge through the use of AI. Indeed, we have more indigenous knowledge to contribute. How many people from abroad have you heard talking about Ubuntu? Ubuntu is South African, but because it was put into the pot of knowledge, it has become global. So please keep putting more so that at the end of the day, they should use that. So as I end, true to the Africa we want principle, let's work towards protecting our knowledge and making sure that we contribute to the creation of knowledge to the benefit of all people. Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ngubane, for representing the Chancellor so eloquently, more so with the integrity and character that embodies the Chancellor Mbeki. You've warned us about not just AI, but you've given us strategies on how to engage, leverage AI for us to better contextualize the knowledge that we were born with, to make it to engage the world in a manner that celebrates our own knowledges. Thank you. Colleagues, can I check if there are latecomers? I'm just so sad that we've become to normalize the late coming. To the patrons of this ceremony that are walking in, you've missed out 3 ground rules that we've set for this ceremony. That you don't leave the hall before the end of the ceremony. Let's respect the very last graduate as same as the first one. 2, our cell phones must be off because they intercept recordings. And 3, that we celebrate each graduate by ensuring that here his name is read out when everybody is silent and we properly record the name. By the virtue of the powers entrusted upon me this afternoon as the acting Vice Chancellor, I confer the degrees and diplomas of the University of South Africa on the candidates whose names appear in the program. I now request my colleagues to present the graduates to be to me. Colleagues.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Vashni Singh for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor R.B. Monyai, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled Digitalization of Higher Education, examining academics' adoption and use of online teaching from a technology acceptance model perspective, she thoroughly investigates the adoption and use of online teaching by academics in higher education systems through the lens of the technology acceptance model term, by meticulously exploring the various factors influencing academics' attitudes and behavioral intentions, particularly in response to the rapid shift to digital practices necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic. She provides valuable and comprehensive insights. Her detailed quantitative analysis of perceived use, ease of use, perceived usefulness, and actual usage offers significant implications for institutional policies, academic training, and the future of online education, particularly within the South African education landscape.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Vashni Singh the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Vashni Singh. Congratulations, Dr. Singh.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Education. Avaneti Sandra Muchocho, degree obtained with distinction. Matepe Felistus Rasiala.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Siposetu Dlamini receives the degree of Master of Laws. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Siwachi Mandivengerei Mavaire receives the degree of Master of Arts.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honours. Vuyelwa Mange. Nopinki Nandinto Zakhe. Tatuani Olga Rambani. Lebogang Miriam Zengele. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Nontobeko Ayanda Pewa received the degree of Bachelor of Administration Honours. Well done. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Mpo Obrimukwena received the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Senzani Nechituni received the degree of Bachelor of Education. The degree was obtained with distinction.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Education. Vusani Precious Manena. Mapakiso Ayanda Maseta. Spusiso Samuel Masina. Shaisani Gift Mpeni. Silamiselo Kumalo. Eunice Ntirisweng Shohole. Nompumelelo Elisa Mbazini.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following student receives a BTech
degree, a bachelor's technology degree, Vusilela Goodwin Bavu. Vusiela Pumelulela Dlamini. Swelina Audrey Mufazu. Elizabeth Njala Mokolo. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate receives the degree Bachelor of Administration, Makutu Portia Manoto. Mujaji Maggie Moa. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate receives the degree Bachelor of Business Administration. Libuchang Nikisani Kubai. Kuchumudiswe Ivan Depane. Tebogu Kubukai. Ashley Ronald McCoy. Mtumpelo Gladys Makuna. Rita Bali Queen Malui. Mulefe Samuel Pale. Pabani. Kathy Pabali. Amy Marie Claire Renata Williams. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate receives a degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Makosi Gilta Moyelatu. Renette Bowman receives the degree with distinction. Valna Lydia Shongo. Botimelo Molokhadi Depale. Tatum Goodall receives the degree with distinction. Lisa Marie Susan Grobler. Bungiwa Koza. Tembi Valencia Kumalu. Numichla Kiba. Roxanne Stacy Candace Lawrence. Matlipula Priscilla Lekalakala. Mbwedi Ividia Mabote. What's the camera? Karabu Job Mankhudi. Ninchimanyai Kelly Makwala Mapane. Look at the camera. Penny Abigail Marina. Malebo Veronica Maroka. Belina Lebochang Masake. Desiree Mashila. Constance Mashabu. Look at the camera. Pamela Mglutwa. Sarah Makontu. Tapelu Muse. Salome Malopo. Tapelu Muse. Tabudi Felicity Mashale. Salome Malopo. Tabudi Felicity Mushale. Look at the camera. Gift Mtilini. Look at the camera. Miriam Mbwazwe Maluba. Look at the camera. Lindukile Musa Ntinzwana. Okay, look at the camera. Patrick Tepu Nwani. Look at the camera. Ruth Ndoro. Look at the camera. Haley J. Pasco. Sayini Patel. Excelia Ramasela Rabatse. Fahima Souls. Ompimeti Seletso. Deborah Sescosa. Yvette Tlafola Boletlana Setlapolo. Sorry. Patricia Nontlane Sebeko. Sharon Tefo. Hannah Josephina Veresmi. Get the cameraman. Pelise Nonshelu Velakazi.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates are conferred the degree of Bachelor of Laws, LLB. Thank you, thank you. Sietemba Pumla Butelezi. Kala Bais. Mandy Castles. Sibongile Chauke. Majaj Raisibe Chili. Gina Chinenere. Oleboheng Hans Chuma. Jennifer Kathbison. Haneli Dibier. Osepeng Simeon Andile Dise. Daniel Jacobus Dutoy. Melissa Ellis. Tombifut Segofatso Kwakwe. Bavashen Governor. Lamis Hendricks. Nina Fatima Ifuso. Motando Giane. Janine Bethany Kennedy. Douglas Keresi. Duduzile Kumalo. Senzekile Victoria Kumalo. Risuna Tesia Landela. Richard Lees. Kagiso Peter Leka Lakala. Thank you. Thank you. Komoso Lesiba. Kerebokile Lale. Nozipo Lucia Mabena. Ntebaste Memory Mabena. Marcela Kotsato Darren Mabusela. Mokadi Rodna Machete. Solomoni Mulungisi Madonzela. Raseo Motsamai Mahibila. Audrey Makokela Mailula. Precious Zamakanya Makanya. Kenzani Maluleka. Humphrey Maluleke. Rivoningo Tena Maluleke. Atengosi Mape. Fortunate Lebohang Ruth Maripane. Wena Cedric Mashala. Busang Naomi Mataboke. Matlodi Elizabeth Matebula. Nyatibi. Temba Mbelengwa. Zwelake Mbele. Annelin Mabato Mgiba. Makani Thomas Mkachane. Tabang Boisoko Andrew Mohosetsi. Nomsa Vanessa Moholola. Daniel Temba Mukwena. Monica Kateho Molife. Calvin Motapo Moloi. Lerato Given Moloi. Daniel Buitumelo Mogezi. Kamokelo Prudence Morete. Samkeliso Msibi. Aluwani Mudau. Tiko Ishmael Mudau. Mujozi Mutandiri. Nompumelelo Sikiza Mvuyana. Jared Patrick Naidu. Sipo Njovu. Marco Sonke Ngobese. Gina Munashe Ngoromani. Mapaseka Martha Nkambule. Rorisang Victoria Nkata. Andile Shamaine Nkosi. Sibusiso Jonathan Ngosi. Thank you, thank you. Itumeleng Noko. Auzanli Nome. Correct. Celeste Eloise Noman. Kara Joina Noche. Michael Nyabasa. Uluano Pilane. Sir Elijah Desri Pillay. Matipane Moses Rasodi. Carmen Chantel Sako. Sulufelo Sedulsa. Miriam Granny Sekiba. Pelane Percival Sembe. Mosulupoko Ponzo Olga Serumula. Joseph Sibeko. Nozipo Brilliant Tamaha. Ellen Makwese Lapedi. Bernardine van der Merwe. Panache Michel Zororo. Acting Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidate receives a BA in Law, Sibongile Rosemary Membe. Lanzoni Sadane Frank. Marina Jackson. Koponso Lebota. Gugu Nomsa Madela. Portia Tatenda Nogutula Mafunga. Matsidiso Charlotte Magabe. Lundokuhle Goodness Matlangu. Perseverance Peo Bongiwe Maseko. Lerato Magdalene Mazibuko. Malose Simon Mabelo. Sharon Maite Monyela. Tandeka Inocendia Msweni. Chifiwa Justice Munyai. Jonas Matibe Kadimeng. Nomakala Ana Poloha. Komoso Rabotapi. Tamia Ramalefani. Neo Ramatlane. Lucy Mamakala Sekota. Hoisemodimo Clifford Seleka. Joaria Sheikh. Rolivua Andrunika Sipali. Valsari Karo Vukeya. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, BCom. Neo Matthews Habedi.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Matebula Junior Gilbert receives the Baccalaureate Technology qualification.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidates will now be introduced to you. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received a postgraduate diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Tsiamo J. Mulamu. Kani Nobela. Nonhlahla Priscilla Ramkepa. Anita Jessica Ricardo.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Law. Nsako Glenn Baloy. Joy Nsako Baloy. Cheslin Antonia de Klerk. Lutendo Faith Dizana. Kotacho Rongwane. Masia Machwene Khabi. Jolena Chaisa Katle. Precious Kutumela. Tokozile Lekanyane. Rivo Ningo Mabasa. Buipelo Mabe. Badanile Matlangu. Sitembiso Poshia Matlangu. Letabo Matepe Matlase. Lebohang Precious Matloko. Innocentia Omfese Makatulela. Buitumelo Sikoposa Makola. Maria Makua. Madinang Melita Malache. Puseleso Odette Malesa. Melody Sorry Manganye. Paulina Bafedile Maribe. Maseko Marule. Matulwe Yvonne Masemola. Nonlandla Fortune Masemola. Mbali Masheho. Elizabeth Sieso Masuku. Pumzile Mate. Christina Lebo Matala. Sanelisiwe Pisifu Mazibuko. Dakalo Mbulaheni. Bongani Billy Mdebuka. Lindiwe Innocentia Mfusi. Nkateko Petolo Mujapelo. Katleko Precious Mokatya. Vusi Richard Mukwena, diploma obtained with distinction. Mpai Oga Mokone. Emmanuel Ngosinati Ndlovu. Lucia Nzamba. Rendani Nembundani. Tobekile Silindile Jabulile Nene. Mpumelelo Ngejane. Sia Kateka Ngobeni. Tuli Caroline Ngula. Karabo Ngodi, diploma obtained with distinction. Gabriel Nkuna. Tabang Keamutse Zanele Ngomo. Amokelang Florence Tate. Mashudu Patricia Posa. Charmaine Dineho Rakanya. Tsepiso Rapunga. Pulane Sekobela, diploma obtained with distinction. Celesta Maropeng Senomadi. Baby Letago Siwela. Kialiboka Madipula Mabo Tsasi. Bridget Shabalala.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received a diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Lesego Batsamiki. Where is it? It's not indicated. Megan Henderson. Trevor Srofatso Jembe. Mashudu Mahada. Nzi Elizabeth Makakasi. Abednego Makondo. Yvonne Peletsi Malope. Flori Maseko. Kefile Maseko. Ricardo Sibulai Mashiro. Solofelo Prudence Mago. Oleboring Rebecca Mebe, diploma obtained with distinction. Morao Mangakane Mota. Joanna Tumelo Motobi. Masande Mtembu. Sakile Sizo Mtimunye, diploma obtained with distinction. Nondobeko Andile Mtombe. Ketugutula Slindin Jabulo Mchali. Carl Mumba. Alina Matlakala Mzizi. Palesa Miriam Ndima. Zakele Ngambule. Sidiso Ntsane. Letiwe Mbalenhle Nchankasi, diploma obtained with distinction. Kehile Charlotte Polo. Surprise Dimakato Polile. Charlene Louise Prinsloo, diploma obtained with distinction. Karabo Rasekele. Jean Christian Ruos, diploma obtained with distinction. Barbara Lungis Kosana, diploma obtained with distinction. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the national diploma. Amukelani Magalas Hlungwane. Elvis Mawatle Lishilo. Victor Jerome Shungube.
We wait for all of our graduates to be seated. That's how much we value Unisa graduates. It's not easy to be a Unisa graduate. Thank you, colleagues. It's an honor this afternoon to render these congratulatory remarks. We are towards the end of our ceremony. I congratulate the graduates of the colleges of Law, College of Economic Sciences, Economic and Management Sciences, College of Education. Those are the 3 colleges that we honored and celebrated this afternoon. Graduates, you've joined or firmly stamped your continued membership of what we refer to as alumni of Unisa, affectionately known as Unisan. You are now a Unisan. We have several alumni chapters in 154 countries. Unisa exists in that number of countries. We have established these chapters around the world, beyond the borders of this country, as we recognize the importance of fostering connections with you. As I said earlier, every Unisa graduate is remarkable. It calls for discipline, commitment. It calls for telling yourself that I've got to get this done. It's not like resident universities where you will have my colleagues chasing you. We don't chase you here. You get your work done or don't. We celebrate you for being here because of your commitment, because of your self-discipline. Unisa teaches you commitment beyond just your certificates, teaches you to be self-sufficient, to be able to work on your own. Hence, we regard you as very remarkable. the very few Unisa graduates that cannot withstand any conditions. We are a very huge university, we refer to as a mega university, but we have very minuscule staff. Possibly I may and should have started with saying thank you for withstanding us. Thank you for sticking with us despite us not possible responding as often as you would have expected us to. We're very few to deal with 500,000 students. Unisa is very honored to have afforded studying opportunities to a number of former activists and struggle icons who are incarcerated on the Robben Island. We are the only university that has the kind of number of graduates that you continue to graduate within the walls of the prisons. We salute all those alumni despite the various conditions. We are a university that has graduated, should I say, probably the only one in the land. We are not called University of South Africa by default, but because of our contribution. You probably will concur with me that you don't know any one organization that doesn't have a Unisa graduate. Our footprint is very deep and wide within the country and beyond. We've graduated presidents. Actually, 3 presidents of this country have graduated at Unisa. President Mandela, the current President Ramaphosa, as well as a Chancellor, Mbeki. We've also graduated presidents beyond the borders of this country. Robert Mugabe, how he turned out ultimately. We can't take responsibility for that, but we trained him, colleagues, eh? We've graduated a number of other eminent politicians, for instance, like Musi Maimane, Julius Malema, Ahmed Kathrada, Archbishop Emeritus Tutu, may the souls rest in peace, as well as justices, a number of justices. We look up to those that receive the law degrees this afternoon to assist us in eradicating this crime. Let the education you got here not go to waste. So we're holding you responsible. Crime continues, you haven't contributed as much. We have all these thought leaders, including business people, legal expertise, as well as eminent business people like Sizwe Ngusana, for instance, amongst others. One of the justices that's quite eminent and quite worldwide known is Justice Daya Pillay, the only woman who's done this kind of work internationally as a judge of high court within the borders of this country and beyond internationally. We've also graduated a woman of note, the very first woman who was the governor of the Reserve Bank, Jill Marcus. Actually, I never stop saying this. We exist in every purse of every person or bank that holds rands and cents. Because all those notes that you see and have in your purses or are behind your bank accounts, the signature there is the signature of Liseja Kganyago, the governor of the Reserve Bank, who just last month lowered interest rates because, colleagues, we trained him to do those kind of things. We trained him. We also trained the current Minister of Finance, Otongwane. We also trained Trevor Manuel, you probably remember that, that minister, during whose tenure we really had a boom financially in the country. It was because of us training him. I'm listing all these eminent people and many more others. Time is not on our side to demonstrate the kind of alumni you're joining. It's eminent people. We expect you to hold the flag of Unisa high and indeed demonstrate what the Chancellor through Prof. Ngubane made reference to in terms of ethical integrity, expected behavioral patterns that exemplify getting your knowledge that you gained out of Unisa to work for you, and that kind of knowledge changes the lives that are out there that needs to be changed for the better. Therefore, graduates, I'm sure you may be feeling a sense of pride on one end, but a sense of anxiety what happens next. What happened next may have to be you come back here. If you're not red gowned this afternoon, we're not done with you. We want you back. Until you are a doctor, somebody. All my colleagues here are waiting anxiously, wanting to enroll you. Registrations are actually open right now. Education is not limited to just only the certificate that you got, but through the character that we expect you to demonstrate. It actually should be about what Maya Angelou refers to as an open code. Surviving is not just important and the only thing, but thriving, and thriving in a manner that changes people's lives is elegance, a close code, so she says. Those who don't know her, Maya Angelou, go read about him, one of the eminent feminists that this world has ever had. At this juncture, I want you to be on your feet now. Please, graduate, please stand up. As you stand up, I want to end with the Chancellor's quotation. Only graduates, yeah, not previous graduates, those that we gave certificates today. The Chancellor says, whatever you do, ensure that you serve the people. Ensure that even if you have not succeeded in what you had planned, even if you get involved in politics, in business, do so ensuring that you don't steal anything from anybody. That's the message from the Chancellor, a close quote. Now, I want you to turn your entire body to the audience, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your guardians, your partners, waving a certificate to say thank you to them. Thank you. Remain standing. These people have made you. You are what you are today. As through Prof. Ngubane, the Chancellor, said, Ubuntu is important. Umuntu, ungumuntu, gabantu. These Abantu have made you to be Umuntu. Honor them throughout. Payback. They've allowed you to do all these studies, these portfolios, these assignments, these chapters. Give them back the chores now. They're done. No skipping of any family rituals and parties because of the assignments and whatever. You're available until you get registered again. On the stage, I want you to thank my colleagues whom I've brought, just very few people because the stage cannot allow everybody to be on the stage. Say thank you to the colleagues that are on the stage for making you, for having believed a lot of some stories that were not even believable, but because we wanted you to graduate this afternoon. Say thank you to my colleagues. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you the class of 2024 spring graduation lot. Let's hear noise as we celebrate it. You may be seated. Lastly, as we end, and I must thank you that we've gotten this ceremony to be just a little above 2 hours. Thank you for your perseverance in this fashion. I must thank a number of colleagues not as privileged as I am, and some of the colleagues who've come to the procession, as well as on the podium. These are colleagues who've made these graduations to happen, but who never get to be at the face of all that we get to record and keep in our archives. The graduation division, the members of staff there, Department of Institutional Advancement, the Marketing, Corporate Affairs, and all the colleagues to ensure that the dear things get to happen. The members of staff of the facility, assets and security, management to ensure safety as well as the buildings before we even get to. This hall, it gets cleaned every time before each session. We have 3 sessions per day. And many of these are black women. Some will have come here even before you woke up because they were here at 5 to clean this hall for you. We thank them. They must have knocked off by now. We thank the multimedia colleagues. You will not be hearing us as loudly and clearly and recording you and streaming right now for our archives of the future as well as our photographers. Today we had brought about 8 cameras. We're spending too much on you. That you must know, because we value so much. And I must thank the colleagues of emergency medical services who have an ambulance just outside this building. Should anything happen to you, we jump like we're crazy because that's how much we value you. Most of them are trained by us colleagues there. We work very hard. And I must thank Dr. Isabel van Rensburg, who's behind the banner there. You probably are not going to see her. You may have wondered, that organ that's recorded, it's not a recording. There's a human being there, a woman, Dr. Isabella, who's made this ceremony the fashion that it is. Thank you so much, Dr. van Rensburg. We now come to the end of our ceremony, just but 2 elements that we have to do. That is the national anthem on page 25 of your programs. Those that are not proper South Africans will probably refer to it. I'll understand if you're not a South African, you shouldn't know this anthem. But do refer to it so that you don't actually, in my language, you say, Udlamazambane. You're just mumbling along. After we've sung the national anthem, I'll request that once I am by the high chair, we stand up and then we sing the national anthem. Please remain standing and ensure that you stand until the procession has been sent out and I dissolve the congregation. Because the red-gowned doctor is that eminent, we request you, once everybody has left with your family, to remain behind. We want to take more photos. This is what you must all look up to. Once you get red gown, you stay behind. We celebrate much more. Thank you. May you stand. By the virtue of the powers entrusted upon me as the acting Vice-Chancellor this afternoon, I dissolve this congregation of the University of South Africa.